Alright, here's my wish list slash prediction list. Some of these are wishes, trying not to be, overly biased here on anything, because that's what a lot of people's lists are. It is really hard to condense this to 33 cards, even though 33 cards is what we're getting, and that is a massive number. Don't get me wrong, 33 card changes will change the game, most likely, unless they fuck it up. But just for my personal, I mean, I could add like 50 more cards to this. um, but keep in mind, so it's not that much over 33. However, it's not really as many cards as it looks like, because like Aphelios plus Gifts from Beyond can be coupled. You know what I mean? I'm saying you'll understand what I'm saying when I get to it. But a couple of these things like kind of go together. And I just have them on here as like reference points, or some of them could be for the patch down the road where they're doing actual reworks. Like Lee Sin could be on that instead of like this nerf patch. So they're not. This isn't a true number. So it's close enough to the 33 that we're gonna get. Yeah, we'll just start. So, uh, Aphelios. So he existed at a point in this game where the game was not as developed, and I don't think we had like these big, strong combo-y archetypes yet. We had stuff that was strong, but we hadn't really seen like things were more simple and like generic in what they did. And then enter go hard, and we saw actual like cohesive comboing, and it felt more like a advanced card game should feel as it goes on. And then it just ramped up. And so while people were kind of mad over go hard, and maybe as Draven to an extent, we ramped up into Aphelios and then go fish at the same time, and I think people got totally overwhelmed. Do I think at full power Aphelios with the new pool of cards we have could probably be an issue? Yeah, sure. Um, so balance it how you see fit, but I think what you could do is either give Homeboy his quick attack, um, or make Gifts from Beyond, make all the guns cost 2 again, because the problem is on turn 3, if you're gonna try to Nightfall the dude, you can't fucking do anything, because yeah, the guns cost too much, so you can't get off some of the good plays you used to be able to get off. Um, and yeah, it's unfortunate. Like he was such a cool champion, because he skill ceiling, and then like reduction of skill ceiling. Like those are like I'm always explaining like the difference between the two. That boy increased the skill ceiling of your deck. He made your level so much higher. So he's like a big brain type of card that led to all kinds of cool shit. I say buff Aphelios by either some sort of stat boost of some kind, because you're really not just gonna attack with this guy, right? So like, who cares if he's just a 3/3? Like, he's not gonna. He's sitting on the back line. Give him something, or which I think you should do more than anything, because they're cool cards. Make the moon weapons cost 2 again. So that way you can go Gifts from Beyond plus the moon weapon. Like, that's what you should fucking do, in my opinion. Um, the only way to use him now is like what you go the little Lotus dude. You go the Lotus guy, the pedal card, whatever the fuck, and then you summon affiliates, then you can play Moon Weapon. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I want to see something. And I agree with everyone else, though. You can just change Crescendum. Crescendum's always been the problem. There's a bunch of other cool Moon Weapons. Let's see them do something. So just change those cards. All right. That took a bit on him, but like, it's very important you understand that. Azir, just revert him. Again, like, he came about at a time, and he was totally fine until Aurelia came out, right? So just don't put Aurelia back to full strength and then put Azir back, because when you're hitting Azir, you're punishing all these other decks, man. Like, one of my favorite decks was Azir Hecarim. That deck was so fun. Azir Lucian, I played the piss out of it. I won a tournament with that deck. Like, those decks were awesome. Azir and Aurelia existing together got a card smashed to pieces that did not need to be smashed to pieces. I think he's a very good design, right? Um, yeah, just set him back to how he was. I feel like there's no reason that can't be reset. And then you open up all kinds of cool other decks because of him. Gnar, I would say just take the quick attack off the Mega Gnar. I don't. People want like double stat reductions plus him losing quick attack plus whatever. Uh, Let him get his health back when he goes back to small Gnar. Just take the quick attack off the big Gnar. I think that handles it. If you really want to, you can do the fleeting pokey stick as a nerf instead. Like, that'd be okay. But then, like, do you really hit him with bolt? I just don't think he. I think it is okay to have like a couple generic cards that can be splashed throughout to make just decks better. I don't want him murdered like everybody else does, but do I think he's like too good? Yeah, it's kind of made the game boring to an extent. So yeah, I say that. Pantheon. Um, I don't know if you would put this as a nerf or you'd throw this in the rework patch or something. I just don't think he should have base overwhelm. I think he should have to get that through a keyword off of his level up. It's just how many times do you get Pantheon or you're winning the game and they drop Pantheon and it has overwhelm, scout, quick attack, and you just lose. Like you just lose the fucking game. Just take overwhelm off, and then I'm fine with Pantheon. Victor, um, I agree with the people that think you should just So I think a couple things. You either reduce his level up again, seriously, because I mean a lot of the cool. You don't want to. You're not trying to play with these shitty created cards, right? So I'd say reduce the cost of that. Um, or you could go with other people's concept of making his generated spell, his core, make that like a focus speed or something. I'm okay with either one. Um, I would. The focus speed's pretty cool. I'd also to like him to just level faster as well. Um, but yeah. So one of those two things is fine with me. Lee Sin. Here's why I'm saying this could be a potential rework. I think this card is bad for the game. And here's what I think happened, right? I think Lee Sin was designed at a time where the game was still young, and when the game is still young, you're not going to take stuff seriously. You just kind of come out with this cool thing. You're like, oh, look at this boss monster, right? Like, look at this cool, kind of gimmicky, not really gimmicky, but you know what I'm saying. It's a weird, it's its own win con. There's no other win con like it, right? And in the early stages of the game, it's like you don't care as much to realize it's a problem, and then you get into the game being more competitive, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, this just sucks. Like this is not fun. You can't really interact with it. There's very few decks that can interact with it. The only people that are probably going to defend this card are the people that are playing decks that can just interact with this, right? Like if you're playing one of the Bandle like more controlly decks and you're rocking triple mini morph, you don't care about Lee Sin, but that's not a way to assess a card's value or its counterplay. I play mostly Shadow Isles decks, right? So like I have a lot of ways to kill this card. I have like Vengeance and Viego's Despair and like other stuff. That doesn't mean shit. It doesn't make it fair. There's a lot of regions that can't do anything because you can just so easily get off his fucking barrier, and then there's almost no counterplay to him just Dragon Raging you. Uh, it's just a bad design. The fact that this deck can be on the back foot the entire game, and then you just drop him and one-shot somebody, uh, like you just get him out like on their turn or whatever, right? And then you just open your turn with the fucking blade, and then combo into whatever to save yourself, and boom, they're just dead. Especially with disciplines being a card, like so, it's just it's a bad card. It's a bad card for the game, and it has nothing to do. I'm gonna tie this into Bandle Tree later too. Has nothing to do with the win rate of the deck ever. Okay, it's a bad design that's unhealthy for the game. Period. Udyr, this could go into rework. I don't think it needs to be reworked. I just want to either one or two things. You either make Udyr a 4-drop. I would like to see him as a 4-drop. You could keep him as a 5-drop, make his stats better. But I would like a 4-drop personally. Um, and then the other thing you can do is make those stances not slow spells, because like that's what sucks, right? Like the fact that they're slow spells. Like when you play his Shaman spell card, which should be a good card, it's just not, because they still get 2 actions after you play it. So it's like, so there's your 2 options for Udyr. Hecarim, um, let the ephemerals keep their stuff. I like, was it Bay? It was either Bay or somebody saying that it should be like a Zoe effect, and other people in this group have said that too. Where it should be a Zoe effect. I've chimed in on that. Where you just when he's flipped, the fucking ephemerals just get like a big buff when they're summoned. I like that, something like that. And then I'll do an ephemeral video later. I think the other way you buff Hecarim, I think cards should create cards that make ephemerals. Okay, I think ephemerals should be attached to bodies. This game is too fast and you die too quickly. Ephemerals just don't work because they can't play defense. You either need to just make ephemerals all be able to block or something, or you need to do something where like Iron Harbinger or cards like that are do what they do now, where they make a card ephemeral. Instead of doing that, they should just create like Onslaught of Shadows or Haunted Relic in your hand, which is, you see I have Onslaught of Shadows over there too. That's why I have that over there. I think Your approach is you make the cards be able to block, or you attach them to other cards so that you're just not negging, right? Like you're creating a card that's just gonna die, so it's whatever. Um, or cards like Onslaught of Shadows and Haunted Relic need to be burst spells. You might think that sounds insanely overpowered. Maybe it is, but there's only two of them in the game, and the one only is a bunch of 1/1s. But like, if that card was a burst spell, you just get blockers, and then maybe you don't notice that ephemerals can't play defense as well. I'm not saying you got to make it burst spells. I'm just trying to give you an idea. Like, at slow speed, they're not good enough, and all these ephemerals just being cards that are just gonna die anyway are not good enough. You need to do something where the deck can play defense, and then it gets better. Hecarim gets better, etc. Nasus, just give him fearsome back. Godwillow Seedling. Okay, yeah. So just revert it. Kiku Wayfinder's gone. Other shit's been nerfed. Um, yeah. Just revert Godwill Seedling because it was a sick ass combo card that let other decks do all kinds of cool shit. Like the card is so sick. It's such a high level card, but like yeah, I mean Kiku's gone. Kiku's like the real problem, right? So with Kiku gone, it hurts like the viability of the other card. Like you can't play the Ezreal version, as you know. Um, so yeah, just is if you're gonna keep Kinku annihilated, I'd say fucking just put Godwill Seedling back. Slaughter Dogs, make it a lower cost. 2, 1, I don't care. Make it a lower cost. Let Deep do something. Because Slaughter Dogs is a cool card, and it looks like you should play the deck around Slaughter Dogs, right? So like, just make it cheaper. Three's too late. You lose tempo. Too bad. Bandle Tree. This goes back into the Lee thing. It's just a bad card. It's a bad card for the game. Like, there's no way around it because we don't have enough efficient landmark removal. Some decks don't care, right? Like, I mean, they kind of care, but they wouldn't have to if the deck mattered enough that they could build against it. Like Swain decks as Kate as Draven, shit like that. You could just put in 3 Scorched Earth and some other shit, and you just win. You're right. Like Bandle Tree would never win, but the decks that have no out to it, just half the time they just legitimately auto lose. Like auto lose. It's a bad card for the game. Um, I guess either make it cost more or change something that it does. But I would say for now just make it cost more. Even then though, good players don't even play it till like turn 6, 7, 8 because like you're not trying to get the negative tempo. You're trying to summon as much actual stuff from the deck as possible. Um, so yeah, yeah. What you want that out? Or Bright Steel Protector. Just make it a 2/2. It's it's just like what it does with the game state is just kind of too much, and it shouldn't have that high of a stat line at what it does. I just don't find it fair, and I don't think it's something a lot of people think about. You want what? Here. Oh, okay. So anyway, Conchologist, I agree with everybody else. Just make it like a 1/2. It's too good of a card. And you don't lose tempo over it. That's the big thing. It gets played in burn decks. Like enough said. It's a control card that gets played in burn decks. Like that's just bullshit. That proves it doesn't lose tempo. Cards like that should at least probably like lose tempo to a degree. That's kind of, you know what I mean. That's what balances cards like that. But you don't lose tempo. So it's too strong. 1/2 is fine. Curse Keeper. Again, the game is power crept. There's no reason the Cursed Abomination can't be a fucking 4/3 again. You don't got to put it back at a 4/4 like it used to be. That'd probably be way too much. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I'd like it, but it's biased. But 4/3, just revert it. Yeah, I mean, Shadow Isles got nerfed multiple patches for like a fucking year straight, and like what buffs have we gotten since then? We haven't. So, uh, yeah. Lobe Telescope. I personally I would like. I don't hate this card as much as everybody else does. So I think it's a cool card, but do I think it's toxic as fuck? Yeah. I think it should just create epic cost cards from your region. Um, and that's how I feel about it. You could even go as far enough as to make this thing just create cards from your region. But yeah, I think the epic cards should only be able to come from your region. Someone else said, what if it didn't create epic cards? Specifically, what if it created like phase? So you get like the rainbow fish and all that stuff. Might be all right. Wouldn't be played nearly as much stuff, but people don't want that, so you can go with either one of those. Twisted Catalyzer, as much as this hurts me, I agree. 3/2 for what it does is too much. Just make it a 2/2. War Chefs. Um, let me look at something real quick. yeah, it's just too much. The random celestial or the epic or the multi-region. Yeah, I don't know. I would say that, yeah, I would just say the epics. The epics can't come from they have to come from the region you're playing probably. If you want to switch celestial to phase, I almost wouldn't even be upset with that either, but again, that might hurt it too much. Who knows? War chefs, listen, I would love to take away some of Demasia's other shit, which I'll get to, but I want them to be more unit focused, because like the thing is, Demacia is supposed to be a unit focused region as far as like board strength, but they're just playing around their spells. Which, if you know anything about Demacian lore, like they hate spells, like they're like racist against mages, so it makes no sense that a region that hates spells is being carried by its spells. It makes no sense. Not canon, not canon. Cap bullshit. This guy, make him a 2/1 again. Like, fuck. Again, power crept game. I know this card's very good, but it's not just a doofus card you can play. Like, it requires setup. And again, like we don't have cards that plus like all these other regions. So it's like, give us shit like this. This helps us. And this was a really good piece to help Thresh Nasus, and it would help Hecarim. Yeah, I think make this guy a 2/1 again, because he's just at a 1/1. He's just so fucking weak. Like, he needs to be at least a 2/1. Uh, Gleaming Lantern, it's just too strong at a 3/3 for what it does. You play against high, maybe people, I don't know, people at lower elo don't like find this to be a problem, but this is a problem. uh, you have to remove this card, or you just kind of lose the game. So just make it a 3/2, so it's easier to kill. It's too thick at a 3/3. You can make it a 2/2 also if you want. Hothead, I just think this card's cool. But it sucks. Like a 4/2, 3 drops, it's not good. I'd say just make its stats a little bit better. Make it a 4/3 or a 3/3. But the two health is like real bad. Um, but yeah, I just like it to be played. It's a cool card. This idiot, you need to drop his stats. Plain and simple, he needs a stat reduction. I don't think you need to nerf for Demacia itself as an individual card, because nobody plays it by itself. But played with a fat fucking body like that, bro, make him a 3/2. A bunch of other cards, the manifest cards, have weak stats. Why the hell does he have to, or create cards? Why does he have to fucking be that strong? Like, make him a 3/2. Some people are gonna say 3/3. Fuck that. Make him a 3/2. For Demacia is too good of a card. Mountain Scryer. So I feel like Targon decks should be about, like celestial things and stuff. And this guy, like, is the epitome of making your deck actually be about uh creating giant celestial monsters using the Sky's Descent, shit like that. He's just too weak, right? You're not attacking with him. You can't safely block with him. If he blocks at 2/2 or something, he just gets killed by Vile Feast or Pokey Stick, and so it leaves him able to block like a 1/1 maybe. Make him stronger. So I would make him like a 2/4, or if you can go with the flip side. Some people want him to be a 3/3 so he can actually attack, but I don't see you really attacking with him. I'd make him like a 2/4 probably. I think that'd be cool, but I'm okay with the 3/3 thing. I see him as like he's a back row unit, right? So make him a little bit stronger on defense. I think he's a defensive unit. And that's just my opinion. The Fangs, just turn back to a 3/2, man. This is one of the most popular cards in the entire game. People love this fucking card. I miss this card. A 2/2 drop is just not it. 3/2 on the other hand, much better. Just that simple, turn it back to a 3/2. And I actually think this one's gonna happen. Like, I'm almost positive on this one. Uh, this one's spicy. This is something I would like. I thought this card was so sick since day one, but 13 units is way too fucking much. Way too fucking much. He doesn't kill champions, so it's like kind of balanced. So just drop that by quite a bit. Make him playable. He's got 5 defenses and 8 drop. That's not that great for an 8 drop, right? So, like there's lots of other 7. There's some 6 drops, just like strong. Like Trundle has higher defense than him. Like get base value as a 5 drop. He's not that tough. The Fearsome's good, obviously. Reduce that cost, man. Yeah, by quite a bit. Quite a bit. I think 10 probably looks like a safe number to most people. I'm a little insane, so I'd probably almost make it even less. Even that might be a little too much. No, that's probably too much. 10's fine. Make it 10. 10 and he's playable, I think. Um, or good. Maybe really strong. Nah, make it 10. Fuck it. Make it 10. We'll just see. They can always change it. We already talked about gifts. Entreat. Here's where I might get flamed for this, but I'd like things to continually get more toolboxy. I think you should just be able to pick what champion you want. Because this is currently only good if you're running one champion, right? And so in some cases it's good. But like this would be such a good card. And Freljord just not a strong region by itself. So like why not just give it something where it's like, dude, this is awesome. Like I want this region for like these tools. Like you want Troll Chant to protect stuff. If you're trying to build a deck around a champion and you have something like Frostbites and all that shit, and why not give it and Troll Chant obviously. Why not let Entreat just pick? There's lots of other cards where you can pick ridiculous stuff. Why not just let it pick the champion? That way you don't have to run it. You know, I think that'd be. I would love that a lot. I think that would help Freljord. Lead and follow. You could uh let's put Aurelia in here. I don't think I don't want Aurelia personally to get any kind of buff though. I want Aurelia to stay nerfed. I just want the Blade Dance itself, the Flawless Duet. I want that to not cost 2 again, because like this is too much. Like so, um, I think you simply change that. That would essentially help Aurelia a little bit too. But then she still wouldn't level up to like 14 units attacked, and that's still a lot of attacks. So I think, yeah, I think you just lower the cost of the actual. Can I look at this without? No. Okay, well, I think that would help if the duet itself wasn't too. I already talked about Onslaught of Shadows, Pokey Sticks, simple. Just make it actually have to do what it's trying to do before you draw the card. Because like there's a lot of other things in the game where you have like File Feast, what is it, Homecoming, like you have to hit the other target and stuff like that, and or you don't get to do it. It's Concussive Palm can be stopped. Um, you should have to do the 1 damage and then draw the card. Simple as that. Then Pokey Sticks, I like it for the game in general. It's just like a really strong Upstart Goblin, right? But it shitty that like it doesn't have to actually accomplish what it's doing to just let you draw a card. Like that's I kind of find that unfair. Twin Disciplines. This is a touchy one because I'm not sure I agree with what a lot of people are saying. If you just do this 2-0-2-0, then like it's so much shittier than or 2-0-2. It's so much shittier than Sharp Sight. And no one's talking about nerfing Sharp Sight. That's what I don't understand about this whole discussion. Like yes, this card is too good. Uh, but if it's 0-2, 2-0, it's not better than Sharp Sight. I mean, this is the only way it's better than Sharp Sight is the way it is now. If you even want to say it, it's probably still not better than Sharp Sight, but this is what makes it so strong. I don't know. I think this card you almost have to just take the hit. I think I'd say 2-1-1-2 personally. Um, but yeah, 3-0 or 0-3 is just it's too much. It lets you live against anything, so like you're living the Sharp Sight exchanges, or it lets you kill over the Sharp Sight trades. The Pale Cascades can't even come close. Like it's just it lets you pick live or die, kill or survive, uh, and no other tricks like beat it out. So it's just too strong, especially 2 mana. But when it was more mana, nobody played it, and I think Ionia like it's a very cool card because it's you get to pick what you do. So I think it needs to stay around. But yeah, it's too much. Um, yeah. Stalking Shadows. Just make this a 2 again, man. This killed so many things, bro. Like Viego, this one's biased for me. Viego didn't even get to enjoy this card, and I promise you, if this card was less mana, it would be good in a Viego deck. It killed fucking can't even think. Well, it hurt. It hurt deep. It killed Nightfall. Like, I mean, I know it's been around a little bit, but like, this is very important to Nightfall. It just hurt a lot of stuff. And again, this game's power crept. I think this is totally fine. This would help Ephemerals. Just make it less mana again, dude. It's 3 mana is too fucking much. You can't play it reliably until way late into the game. Yeah, put it back. Golden Aegis, I didn't put it, but the other rally card needs to go up there too. Relentless Pursuit. They need to cost more or something. Rally's too strong. Rally's just way too strong. By like what turn 5, you can rally 2 times in 1 turn. Like, it's too much. It's too much. Yeah, just nerf the fuck out of it. I'm sick of Rally. I mean, it's not even my opinion at this point. Like, Rally is ruining like these metas. So just fuck it. Make that card a 5/6. I don't care. It just needs to be. It needs to be toast. This is a favorite card of mine. I think this is such a high skill level card. Because this card, if you don't understand how this works, it like displaces the unit. Like, so if I'm about to get hit with a vengeance and I play this card, I kill my card, but then stop the vengeance. Right? It moves it. It moves it. Um, it essentially like doesn't exist on the board, and then it re-exists. So, uh, the things you can do with this are reset things like reset champion level up cons, reset units that are buffed by all kinds of shit. You can reset cards of yours that have summon effects. Um, you can like you can proc so many things. You can use it as a block in battle, but I think it needs to be less than 5 mana. I've said this before. If it was less than 5 mana, it'd be a good card. Some guy wanted to make it 3 or 4 mana. I think 3 mana is overpowered. I think 4 mana would be good. I think if this card was a 4 mana, it would be way better. I mean, if you want to give this to me at 3 mana, I will take it. But like Kindred's a 4, and it's a Kindred champ spell, so like this makes sense. I think 4 makes this card a lot better. Um, this card's just so cool, and it's not unfair. Like it doesn't kill your opponent's card permanently. Um, if things like mini morph and shit can exist, there's no reason this card can't get a buff. The card's so sick. Star shaping, uh, yeah, just uh, make it 5 again. Like, yeah. So 5 heal, if you understand what I'm saying. Just make it a 5 heal again. That's all you gotta do, and it's good. Rolls and arms again. Same with the fucking like Fort Demacia type shit and rally type shit. It's too strong. The game is at a point where like all these stupid little Bandle units just spread out like crazy, and then they become the size of all of these giant beat sticks that normally cost like 8 mana. It's not fair. It just isn't fair. There's no way to justify it. It's easy as hell to get off. It's just a bullshit card. There's no justifying this card being fair at all. And then spicy choice. This is just kind of like I don't think this will happen at all because I don't think anybody cares about this card but me. Um, but I wish this card just costed less mana. I think it's really good to answer all the swarming that we have now. If you wanted to, you could like really reduce the cost. Like we're talking to like 5, but then make it like a fast speed or something. Um, yeah, but it is a very cool card. It existed in like a half of a meta one time. I climbed really high at one point in time with this in my Lissandra deck, and then never played it again. But it's such a sick card, and it would help a lot of problems to be honest with you. So I think a buff on this card would be very cool. Or you could even make it do 3 damage at the end of the turn because 7 cost for a card like this is a lot. Like you kind of don't understand how you're playing it out. Yeah, I'm almost done. Okay, I'll be done in 1 second then. Okay, and okay, all right, go out there. I'll go make it in a second. Okay, you wanna say hi to everybody real quick? Cause I didn't save earlier, so just wave to everybody. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up here. Um, the last one, obviously, dude, harrowing should definitely be a burst spell. So you think I'm kidding? Anyway, uh, yeah, obviously that's not really on this list, but imagine if this was a burst spell for real. Anyway, I will talk to you guys when we find out about the patch stuff tomorrow, and I hope you enjoyed this. Just my thoughts. You don't have to agree with me, but I think some of these would be really cool changes. So goodbye.